Finally, Liberal Democrats in Derbyshire won't be putting up anyone to stand for elected police commissioner in the county. The party's crime spokesman, Councillor Tony Rogers, insists it's a stupid idea and will come back to bite the Tories.
Well, the man in question, Tony Rogers, is here, as you can see. Tony, colourful language. It'll come back to bite the Tories. How exactly?
Well, I think it's fraught with danger, quite frankly. I'm totally opposed to party politics within the police forces. And if you have just one person who's totally responsible, can hire and sack the chief constable, and the only people, in my view, which will be able to afford to stand for the police commissioner are political parties, which means to say that the chances are...
So you don't want them and you don't think we need them, really? Is that what you're saying?
Well, is the Prime Minister saying that our police force in the past and police authorities have been absolute rubbish? I don't think so.
Richard?
I think they've done a very good job, and what I'm saying is, why do away with something which is brutally good?
He's basically saying if it ain't broke, why fix it?
I think it is broken. There's no doubt, in my view, everybody who's been associated with the police, from local council level, councillors, have generally gone native. Everybody I've ever spoken to says, yeah, the police are fine, there may be a problem, but let me explain, it's all under control. I do believe the accountability between the general public and the police is not working at the moment. I think this is a high-risk strategy, no doubt. I think a little bit like Boris in London, it all depends on the character and calibre of the person who's given this job.
Because we don't know quite what we're getting yet, but we know that we're getting elected police commissioners as a result of coalition legislation. So you're effectively defying your own party.
No, our own party is totally opposed to the policy of police commissioners. It just happened to be one of the Tory policies which we couldn't keep out of the coalition agreement. We managed to keep a lot of right-wing Tory philosophy out of the coalition agreement, but this is not one of them.
Well, your Lib Dem Minister Ed Davey told us this week that he would expect Lib Dems to field candidates or at least get behind one. That kind of puts you on the spot, doesn't it, in the light of what you're doing?
No, not at all. What the party nationally has decided is to leave it go to the regions, and on a democratic vote, the regional parties can decide what they want to do. We'll be standing one, which is Northampton, because we actually have a person there who I think is highly suitable to be a police commissioner, who'll probably win the seat.
Is one enough?
Well, it's really up to each individual counties, and that's the only county that really wants to stand a candidate as a police commissioner.
Okay, well,
I think there's a difference here between reality and what's being said. You know, we are where we are. Police commissioners are coming in whether we agree with it or not, and certainly in Derbyshire our candidate Alan Charles and the rest of us don't agree with it, but we're stuck with it. So what do? Do you walk away and leave an open field to the Conservatives, or do you fight it? And we have to fight it to represent our communities. And I've known Tony for a good few years, and there's two things about Tony. One is that he's a realist, and one is that he's very shrewd. And you know, he comes here and stands on the moral high ground, but basically they can't win. The Lib Dems can't win, and why would you want to take the backlash of all the negative feelings against the Lib Dems in government and risk losing your £5,000 deposit?
why would you want to do that?
Listen, if the Liberal Democrats were to stand a candidate, if that was their wish, and we really we really took on the Labour Party and the Tory Party in Derbyshire, as we've done in Chesterfield, believe me, we can prove that we can win. In fact, we've got an election next Thursday, just wait for the result.
Is the problem really that we just don't know how this is all going to work out? It's all a bit of a stab in the dark, isn't it?
I think to get politics in this a little bit, I'm concerned a little bit about that, because actually the Conservatives, I know, set out to actually not choose a standard political person, not a county councillor, not a district councillor. They've chosen a retired RAF senior officer for Leicestershire campaign, and I applaud that, because they're bringing somebody who's actually far more non-political, although he will be Conservative.
You don't look like you're happy with that.
That's not the case in Derbyshire. The Conservative candidate in Derbyshire is the current deputy leader of the Conservative group on the county council and a very political operator. Stood several times for the Conservatives for parliamentary seats. I don't think you can take politics out of this because of the way it's been set up. I think the risk is you either get somebody who knows something about how the police service operates, or you get somebody who comes in with no knowledge, and it's an almighty gamble, could go horrendously wrong.
Very briefly, Tony,
Anne has just raised a very interesting point. It's been a big surprise to a number of us who's going to be the Conservative candidate, and I tell you what, I think that in itself could be fraught with danger.
OK, well, I'm sure we'll all find out soon enough, won't we? Thanks very much to all my guests in the studio today. And of course, if you want to stand for Police Commissioner, you've got until mid-October to submit your nomination. Oh, and there's a small matter of a fine £5,000 deposit, which you'll lose, by the way, unless you get at least 5% of the votes. Still interested? Maybe not. Time to hand you back now to Andrew Neil. Thanks for watching.